Sexuality education is one of those things that come up every time there's sexual violence episode in schools, or there is some horrific thing happening between young kids. There is no consistent state policy on sex education, so it's always a knee-jerk reaction which happens when something happens. And we first really almost seriously started talking about it only when HIV and AIDS happened. Both private organizations as well as state organizations, all of them got together and tried to design syllabi for school sex education. It has to start very early, because it's not something that you suddenly tell young kids when they are in class 9. So what changes between class 8 and class 9 that suddenly they can hear about sex and in class 8 they can't? And because people had no experience of doing this before, the very common way in which they did it was basically cut and paste material from Western curricula, which was absurd in our situations, which are very complex and have very local issues in them. In private institutions now, you have counseling services, for instance, but these are all very elite schools. The average government school I still don't see as having any kind of counseling services or support services. So that really needs to be in place, and of course a proper curricula for sex education which is graded, which can start as early as primary school, and then go up to secondary and then higher secondary, and you give them age appropriate information. Now with the internet, things have changed so much, and we really don't realize this, that in terms of information, they're probably getting everything that they need. What they don't have is a kind of framing of it, or is a kind, or how to consume that information, or how to use that information. So as teachers or educators, that is our job. What they don't know is how to handle relationships when they go bad, or how to handle consent, or the issue of consent, whether it's their own selves or it's somebody else involved. School children have always consumed porn, even before porn became easily available on the internet. Of course, they're going to access all of this. We can't stop that. But can we at least, give them some kind of understanding and context which would help them to deal with that kind of content? And these need discussions. This is not about information.